Fuck is going on?
There
All righty, everyone. We are live. This is Ben with Mafia Members Podcast, a podcast for the Bills Mafia, by the Bills Mafia. We're joined today by George. So let's get into it.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
All righty, everyone. Welcome to the show. As always, shout out to Jones and for Sports for the music. We got with us today Hot Take City, the master of the sports hot takes, coming from Florida, I believe,
Yep.
but repping the teams in New York. So, George, introduce yourself.
How we doing, everyone? Hot Take City. You can find me on X. Just following my dad's footsteps and supporting the New York teams. Nothing
Right
more
on.
to it.
Right on. So you're on Twitter, X or Twitter is your main platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Okay, so I think we'll jump right into it. If you're repping New York City, you're obviously by the gear you got on right now. You're a Giants fan. So why don't you tell us how you think your off season is going?
I mean, it's a little shaky. We definitely have some pieces that we're missing. Signing Singletary, as a RB for the replacement of Barkley. By all means, Barkley, his skill set is definitely something else. But signing Singletary and comparing numbers, to be honest with you, and men lie, women lie. Numbers do not lie. They're almost identical from last year between the two of them. Now, like I said, skill set, by all means, Barkley is definitely by far a better runner. But numbers are right there. Daniel Jones is the biggest question of that team right now. Is he healthy enough to be the week one starter? I mean, they signed Drew Lock. He's shown potential, but you paid the man $40 million a year. You're going to have to suck it up and deal with it this season and go into the offseason looking for a new quarterback, or you ride and die with him. You made that choice. You stick with it.
Do you agree with that choice? Is that the quarterback that you would have paid $40 million for?
No. But let's be honest here. In the offseason, besides the draft, I'm not talking about the draft. Who in the offseason could you have gone and gotten for that money? Now, if you look at the last 52 games between Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence, because it's the hottest topic going on right now, the Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence topic. If you look at the last 52 games, they've had identical numbers, identical wins and losses, which I don't hold the wins and losses, against them. But, they've had identical numbers, same turnover, same, yards. And so, I mean, 40 million compared to 55 million is a whole 15 million difference. I mean, you can use that money to sign someone else,
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like Miami's kind of in that same position. Dallas is kind of in that same position where it's like you might not want to pay the quarterback, but who else realistically are you going to go out and get that's better than the one that you already have?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what did you think of your draft? Obviously getting Malik Neighbors might help out that quarterback a little bit. He seems, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't seem all that thrilled to be in New York. But what were your thoughts on that draft pick?
I love Neighbors. I think he's going to be something special. I mean, the last time we had a true number one wide receiver, I mean, we're going back to the Super Bowl runs with Plexico Burris. You know what I'm saying? Now, I love Odell, but his career was cut short with, the amount of injuries and, the marrying the net and kicking the net and all that stuff. So his career was definitely cut short in New York. So we really didn't experience the whole, true number one with him. Now, when he went to the Rams, he did some things. When he went to Cleveland, he was special there. And, his first couple of years with New York, he was definitely special. But a true number one, I mean, we're talking, Plexico Burris, Amani Toomer, Mario Manningham, those guys stepped up for, Eli Manning. And, I mean, Victor Cruz was another one. I mean, he wasn't that 6'5", 260 guy that was running flats his whole career. I mean, he was playing in the slot, but he still could have been a true number one on a lot of teams. And that's what we're looking for. And signing Neighbors, I think that's going to, be a big jump on the offense. And now that Barkley's gone also, you're not, stacking the box. You don't know who's going to get the ball. You don't know where the ball is going. It could be a read option. It could be a dump to the tight end. I mean, Theo Johnson, a lot of people are sleeping on Theo Johnson. I think he's going to be, a great tight end for us. You got Danny Bellinger as a blocking tight end. And I think Theo Johnson is going to be the catching tight end. So
yeah. Like I mean, as a Bills fan, we all appreciate and understand what Singletary is is capable of, and like you said, I think it's just a quarterback thing that they got to get sorted out, because especially now that you've drafted, like you said, Neighbors, I feel like your defense is solid enough. You kind of have all the pieces around the team. It's just missing that one.
Yep.
Just missing that one piece that'll really,
I mean, our defense is still missing a couple pieces, to be honest with you. Safety, losing X to Green Bay. He was a big part of our defense, but with the draft picks and the last year with the couple of people that had showed up for the draft, for the team itself, I think the combined talent will make up for the missing one or two pieces on defense. That D line, I think, honestly, could compete with any D line in the league right now. Yeah. Between Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns. I mean, those three right there are monsters. Bobby Okereke at the linebacker position. McFadden. McFadden was a leading tackle last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a stellar front seven, that's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the front seven is going to be fine. The slot corner, second corner, that might be a question. You know what I mean? But behind Banks. But we have Flott step up last year when we needed him to. We just signed a couple people. So I think our defense is going to be better than it was last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Do you think do you think that, so we agree quarterback is like the need, or is there something, like, do you think they need a better O-line? Do you think they need maybe a secondary wide receiver more, or like what do you think is the biggest need left?
No, I don't think secondary wide receiver is the issue, to be honest with you. I mean, you got Neighbors on the outside as the one. You got Wandale on the slot. You got Hyatt playing the other outside. So I think wide receivers – see, people don't understand. They're trying to – Joe and Brian, they're trying to do what they did in Buffalo. And it took a long process, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go and get, a Jerry Rice or a Randy Moss. They didn't get those guys. They didn't get those type of guys. They got guys that had great attitudes, that were willing to work hard and, play what they play. Like, they're not looking for that true dominant player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So they're going to sign guys who they feel comfortable with, and they're going to take it and they're going to run with it. So I honestly think not this year, definitely next year, you're going to start seeing better progress. But the question is, how long do you give these guys? How long do you give the GM? I mean, what do they normally last? If they're not succeeding, they normally last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're pushing on what, year 4 with Joe now, or 3? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you start to get worried. You know what I mean?
I know in Buffalo we'd love to get Dayball back from you guys. We'd love to get him back and reunite him with Josh. We'd love to see that happen. Well, I got
I
a question
heard.
here from Steven. What do you think about Saquon leaving?
Oh, Saquon leaving. I mean, listen, he wanted his money, you know, and you can't ever stop someone from getting their money. You know, he's from Philly, so it's like, I mean, watching interviews and listening to people, and like I said, watching the Hard Knocks. The Hard Knocks tells it all. That conversation between Saquon and Joe, it felt like he didn't want to stay in New York. It really
Yeah.
didn't. And I can't blame him. Am I mad? Yeah, 1,000%. Am I upset he went to the Eagles? Oh yeah, way and beyond above any mountain possible. That's how upset I am. But can you blame him on the business side? No, you can't blame him on the business side. Can you get mad as a fan? Of course you can.
Yeah.
He's doing what he felt was right for him and his family. And
Mm-hmm.
I would do the same thing. I mean, my family comes first before anything. So I can understand where he's coming from on that side. But as a fan, as a Giants for, so many years, yeah, I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off. You know what I mean?
I think that's kind of the difference in Stephon Diggs leaving the Bills, is that like it felt kind of unnecessary. It felt like he didn't go for more money. Like he went to a team with like probably a worse quarterback, probably going to be like the third option, probably not going to, like it seems like it wasn't the business decision that Saquon made. It felt
Yeah.
like he had like a personal beef that he wanted to air out publicly. And that's kind of where the Bills' frustration came in from. If it had been a situation like Saquon, I think a lot of Bills fans could have, handled it the same way as you're saying. Like, yeah, it sucks, or I'm pissed at him as a fan, but as a man, I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, and I understand it. I mean, the thing about Diggs, though, is, he's at that stage, I think. I mean, he's still young, but he's still at that stage where he's been, maybe 2 times in the playoff, 3 times in the playoff, and they fell short.
Yeah.
So I think he felt like he has a better chance to go to Houston. And because right now the Bills have a tougher division than I think Houston does.
Yeah.
And
They
I
do.
think
I mean, either team's going to have to beat KC to get into the Super Bowl.
100%. You're 1,000% right. But
Yeah.
winning the division, Houston is going to be easier to win that division than it will be for the Bills.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the Bills won't win the division, but you got the Jets, Miami. You know what I'm saying? So those 2 teams are by far superior compared to the Jaguars, the Titans, and the Colts. The Colts are good, but I don't think they're there yet that are better than, because we still got to wait on AR when he comes back to see how he does from his injury.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of the same as a Rodgers. Like he can, all dependent on how he recovers from that injury. Another one from Steven. You think Neighbors is going to be a top 10 this year?
out of all the wide receivers, I'd say about maybe top 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't put him in the top 10. I mean, it goes back to the whole quarterback situation. Is he going to be, how is Daniel Jones going to be? Is he going to come out swinging, or is he going to come out scared like he has the last 3 years?
Yeah. Do you think Daniel Jones, do you think he's kind of underrated as a runner, or do you think like people overlook that like mobility aspect of his game? Or
No, he's definitely a dual threat QB. He's
Yeah.
definitely, I mean, last year or the year before, no, 2 years ago, I mean, he had one of the fastest times in the league. Him and Lamar were identical in speed. You know what I mean? Now, it could have just been for one run. By all means, I'm not comparing Daniel Jones to Lamar. So go ahead and, the haters out there, go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay. But, speed-wise, they were almost identical in time. There were some games that Daniel Jones was faster, and then there were some games that Lamar was faster. It just all depends on, the game. But he's definitely a dual threat QB. And listen, he has the potential. He definitely has the potential. Okay, but the problem with him is he's never been given a decent line. No real true weapons besides Barkley. We had Darren Waller thinking that was going to do good, but he retired and started rapping.
Hey,
So
we all got those rapper dreams, man. We all got them.
exactly. So
Okay, so what do you think? How do you think the season's going to play out for you guys this year?
I'd say on average, probably about the same as last year. Maybe 6, 7 wins. Maybe sneak into the playoffs depending on how the rest of the NFC teams do.
Yeah,
You always have that one team that has either 500 or below 500 that jumps in the playoffs because of who they played, and so we'll see what happens. I honestly don't think we'll win more than 7, maybe 8.
yeah. I think that's probably fair. I mean, honestly, if you guys had gone out and gotten like a Kirk Cousins even instead, like last year or whatever, like I feel like that's 2 or 3 more wins at least on.
Yeah.
I think it really does just come down to that quarterback play. I've seen Daboll coach Allen through his best season, and like he can design stuff for any situation, really design plays for it.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing. Dable's definitely had quarterback experience. I mean, college and Alabama, he had Jalen Hurts, Tua as his quarterback. They both won national championships. I mean, he had Brett Favre back in the day with the Jets, Josh
mhm,
Allen.
mhm.
I mean, he's definitely had different types of quarterbacks and, different experience level quarterbacks. So he knows about quarterbacks. There's no questions asked about that.
Yeah,
Dable definitely knows about quarterbacks.
yeah. Okay, so we'll flip to the Bills. We'll get your opinion on the Bills. What do you think of our offseason? What do you think of us losing Diggs? Kind of where do you see our franchise right now?
I don't think Diggs hurts. You want the honest truth? I really don't think Dig hurts. I don't think Dig put his 100% in while he was in Buffalo. So I don't think losing Diggs is going to change anything. I mean, Josh Allen is still Josh Allen, definitely a top 5 quarterback in the league right now. He's one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the league right now. He's got the rushing abilities for sure locked down. He's definitely got an arm on him. I think Keenan Coleman is going to be big for you guys this year. Listen, I'm a Florida State boy, so I know all about Keenan Coleman, and he's definitely going to be a monster for y'all. And a lot of teams are going to realize that after his first couple of years being in the NFL. I mean, you still got Shakur. He did great last year as a slot receiver filling in.
Mhm.
I think Gabe Davis is more of a hit than Stephon Diggs because Gabe Davis, until you find another flyer, Gabe Davis was that flyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's games where, Stephon Diggs didn't do much, but Gabe Davis got 3 touchdowns, 3 catches, 120 yards. Because
Yeah.
all he's done is running down the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
The
Josh
problem
Allen loves that.
with Davis is he'll do that in one game and then take 6 games off and then
Yeah,
do
of
it in one
course.
game and
Yeah,
then take 6
100%
games off.
agreed. 100% agreed. But that's when Stephon Diggs is having a bad game, that's when the game Davis comes in.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he'll take off 6 games and Stephon Diggs will be good for 6 games. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So definitely can see that. Definitely can see that. But like I said, I think the Gabe Davis being the flyer is more of a hit than Stephon Diggs. Because you definitely got enough weapons to still produce on that offense. You know what I'm saying? You got almost honestly, me personally, I think you got one of the better tight end rooms. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
One of the better tight end rooms than a lot of people. I mean, Dawson Knox and Kincaid. I mean, those are 2 great tight ends. I mean, Kincaid's definitely taken the throne from, Dawson Knox, but Dawson Knox still got hands. He could still run. He could still catch,
Yeah.
So
I like the combination of the two of them. I find Knox is a little bit more of a quote unquote traditional tight
mhm.
end. He's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit plays more bully ball, and then we have Kincaid, who's kind of the finesse route runner, pass catcher style. And not to take anything away from Knox, because like you said, he is a pretty good pass catcher. But yeah, I think I'm happy I found someone who agrees with me that the loss of Stephon Diggs is not. I don't think it's going to hurt us as much as everybody else is making it
No,
out
I
to
don't think
be.
so. Definitely don't think so.
like our wide receiver room from last year compared to this room, I think our wide receivers, the bottom half of our wide receivers have greatly improved. We've added Curtis Samuel, who's he's going to be a good, whatever you call them, X factor.
Oh, Curtis Samuel is a great pickup.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the Gabe Davis. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be your little slot guy, run in the middle, run the flies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We
Between
need, and that's essentially what we need, is we need someone to build that chemistry with Allen. So every time Allen is scrambling, he knows what number he's looking for to try and get the ball.
and don't forget, you still got James Cook in the backfield. I mean, he is on the smaller side as RB, but he's still got that power and he's still got the moves and he's fast. You know what I'm saying? He still can make plays,
Yeah. He was very
So-
sneakily the fourth in rushing, sixth in scrimmage yards last year.
Yeah.
So he's no slouch back there, that's for sure. And I think, and another thing, I think people are overhyping the loss of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer and Tre'Davious White on our defensive side. Very few games those three guys actually played, all three of them together. Trey White has been out of the lineup for the most part for the past 2 seasons, so tough to say that you're going to miss that. Like, we miss him as a person and as the character that he was, but I don't think we miss him on the field as much as people want you to believe.
I mean, that was my biggest concern. I mean, we've had conversations on X, me and you, in comments and stuff about how, I feel like the biggest concern for the Buffalo Bills are their defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just, I don't follow them as much, so I can't really speak on, the defense side. Obviously offense for fantasy reasons, but
Yeah.
the defense, is their defense going to be able to keep up with a lot of these high power offenses?
And
That's
I
the
think
question that should be floating around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the answer is yes. I mean, I think we have one of the best linebacking duos in the league in Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard.
Okay.
We definitely need help in the pass rush. That is for sure. We got Epinesa, not so great. Von Miller is like a shadow of what he used to be. So, hopefully he can turn it around a little bit. And then we have problems in the defensive backfield as well, like Rasul Douglas being corner one. I don't know if that's going to get it done. And we'll have a rookie safety because we just drafted Cole Bishop. I mean, by all accounts, everyone who knows anything about him, they all say that he's great. I didn't watch too much. I think he was at Utah. I didn't watch any of their games really, so I don't know. But everyone's saying he's a day one starter and he's got all the tools needed. But until we see it on the field, it'll be tough to actually tell how it all plays out. But I think our defense, McDermott is a good enough defensive coach, I think, to kind of scheme away some of those issues. Me personally, I think we should get rid of him as a coach, but I think he's a good enough to.
It was just funny how you said that. I was just about to ask you, do you think Dermott's on the hot seat this year?
Oh, his seat better be on fucking fire. Like his seat was on fire after the 13-second game. When they came out in that defense to allow Travis Kelce to make the catch to put them in field goal range, I would have fired him before the game was over.
Yeah, but I understand, he's the head coach, but that was also on Frazier.
Yeah.
His defense is very soft defense, and especially towards the end of the games, his defense is soft. And when the Giants were talking about hiring him as a defensive coordinator when Daboll came over, I was like, please don't hire him. Please do not hire him, because he plays soft defense. He plays a lot of a lot of zone.
Yeah.
And he definitely plays a soft defense. So, yeah, head coach should overrule that call, but that's what makes a great head coach over an elite head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I think McDermott has done all that he needed to do. He brought us out of the drought. He created an identity for the team and helped Allen reach his potential and some of those things. But I think now he's kind of reached the ceiling of his head coaching abilities. And we'll see this year because we just brought in a new defensive coordinator, so maybe that takes some of the the load off of him and he can actually go back to focusing on being the head coach of the team again. But yeah, I think his seat is absolutely on fire. I think if we start out like 6-6 again, I think our bye week is week 12 or 13. If we're at 500, then I think he's gone during that bye week, and we probably promote Joe Brady to head coach, and we'll let it roll from there again.
It's a hot take. I'm the hot take city. Okay.
Okay,
But I mean, it happens. So we can, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. So speaking of hot takes, I got a segment that I call "Standing on Business."
Oh.
Okay. So what we do here is I'll say something, and I'll have to back it up, or if you have a comment, you got to be able to stand on business and tell me what you think about it. Okay. So this one I got specifically for you being a Giants fan, and I'll say Eli Manning should not be a Hall of Famer.
All right. You starting off strong with this stand on business. Yes, he does have 2 rings. Yes, his last name is Manny. Let's go ahead and put that to the side. Okay. Outside of his 2 playoff runs, he did absolutely nothing. Okay. We'll put all that to the side. Those 3 comments to the side.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come back to those. He still holds the most passing yard record in the playoffs. Okay. That game against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, the 18-1, and I know a lot of Patriot fans that hate hearing that 18-1. Okay. That was him that got out of 7 sacks and made that throw. He didn't make the catch, but he still had to make the throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the 2011. You know what I'm saying? That was him that made that throw to Mario Manningham on the sideline.
That was a nice one. Yeah.
That was him. Add 2 rings to that. A lot of players don't have 2 rings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
there's players with 4 rings that I don't think should be in the Hall of Fame either.
Agreed. Now add the fact that he beat the GOAT twice, okay, in the Super Bowl. Okay.
There you go.
Add the fact that his last name is Manny. So all those factors add up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
it all adds up.
To be honest, I've always said that he should be. That is just kind of one of the. It is a.
It's a hot topic.
It is a debatable topic. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Do you think so? Then by those things, do you think Roethlisberger's a Hall of Famer as well?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because that seems
the only one out of the 3, and I'll mention the third here in a second. The only one that doesn't belong on the Hall of Fame is Phillip Rivers. Out of those 3, he should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
he's never gotten past maybe the second round in the playoffs. Never seen the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
I mean, he could be in the Hall of Fame for having 12 kids, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? No,
by one woman too. It's only one.
By one woman, exactly. There's no, no way that he should be in the Hall of Fame, Phillip Rivers, compared to Ben Roethlisberger or Eli. Like if they had to pick out of the 3 and leave out one, it should be Phillip Rivers to be left out.
Yeah. I think like if you're I forget where I heard it, but I was watching something on like NFL films or something like that, and they're asking someone if this player should be in the Hall of Fame, and he said, one of his criteria for putting people into the Hall of Fame was, can you write the story of the NFL without this person? And I think Eli Manning, like you said, based on that season of beating the undefeated Patriots, you have to include that when you're talking about the whole history of the NFL. And Rivers in the whole history of the NFL is a very forgettable name to me.
I mean, beating Tom Brady and making that team 18-1, I mean, that was one of probably the greatest offenses that we've all witnessed in the regular season. I mean, going 16-0 in the regular season is a great accomplishment. You You know what I'm
And
saying?
I think even if you include the season before, they were like 22-0 in regular season games, right? So they definitely put an end to a really hot streak there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that was one of the best, offenses we've ever seen,
Yeah.
In the last whatever years, you know what I'm saying? But for them to do that, yes, by all means, the Giants had a great defense in 2007 and a great defense in 2011. I'm not taking anything away from that defense. But you can't just say that defense won that Super Bowl for both those seasons.
No,
You can't say that.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That 07, like I said, Eli had the most passing yards until today. Joe Burrow, I think, was the only one that came close to it 2 seasons ago. He almost broke that record, I think, in the playoffs. So you can't deny that. Like I said at the beginning, men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so speaking of numbers, topic number 2 is, for me, this is true. Eli's brother Peyton is a top 3 quarterback all time.
Ooh. Are we talking regular season? Yeah.
We're talking just everything. Just who's your top 3 quarterbacks of all time? I have Brady, Montana, and then Manning.
I don't know, man. Manny he just never. I mean, it's not his fault. He could just never get past Tom Brady in the playoffs. Just never really couldn't get past Tom Brady in the playoffs.
I don't think losing to the greatest player of all time is that big of a knock against you. You know what I mean?
I understand, but it is though, because you want to be the greatest, you have to beat the greatest. Yes or no?
So that's why I have him third, because I don't think he's the greatest, but I think he's
exactly
pretty close to the next best thing.
I would have to agree with that, and to a certain extent. I mean, you got some greats out there. I wasn't alive for most of them, but you definitely got some greats out there.
Yeah.
You know?
And obviously nowadays with Patrick Mahomes kind of creeping up that list, you have guys who, it depends on where do you count Marino, even though he never won one. People,
you got Brett Favre.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got
Aaron Rodgers,
Bradshaw.
See, that's the guy I mentioned before with 4 rings that I don't think is all that great. I think Bradshaw's a little bit overhyped, but
I mean, you got Steve Young.
Steve Young. Yeah.
You got 3 Cowboy quarterbacks, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman. I mean, even Phil Simms, I mean, he wasn't that bad, but he could definitely be a top, 10 quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting some love here in the comments. Hot Take City. Okay, next topic. When I ask the question, I'm pretty sure you'll know where I stand on it. But Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league right now.
No. Stop. Stop.
Who do you have better than him? There's no way. You can't be real with another name.
Patrick Mahomes, clear number 1.
Yes.
Okay. There's too many great quarterbacks to say a number 2. But if I had to pick one, okay, and now my name is not my name for a reason now. So if I had to choose, I'm going to go Lamar over Allen.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say that is because he's, I think, definitely a better runner than Allen. And when it comes time to throw it, he can also throw the deep ball. So now, is his accuracy there? I might give that to Josh Allen. But when it comes to throwing and running, I think Lamar has the edge just a little bit over him. Just a little bit. But accuracy, by all means, Josh Allen.
Yeah, but didn't you just say that to be the best, you have to beat the best? And Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson when they faced off each other in the playoffs?
Agreed. But they still both lose. They still both lose to Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We're fighting for number 2 here. But I just think that maybe Lamar runs better, but I think Josh Allen is clearly the better thrower. I think he's more accurate. I think he can throw the ball, his deep ball is better. I think playing Lamar Jackson, you can kind of focus more on the run, where Josh Allen offers you a little bit more of that dual threat option. Not to say that Lamar Jackson is not like you can just blitz him all day and he's not going to be able to pick you apart. He is able to do that. I think Josh Allen is better at doing that though. I think the playoff numbers speak for themselves. Allen is far better than Lamar Jackson in the playoffs.
Oh, numbers, yeah, by all means. But how many times have each of them been in the playoffs? Like 3 to 5 to 2,
Yeah,
5 to 3.
I think Allen's record is like 5-5 in the playoffs, and I think Lamar's is like 2-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I mean, winning games also helps some numbers too. So I just think there's no clear cut too. I really don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a great debate topic. I think you can, and the main issue with Burrow is the health aspect of it. But then I think that's another guy that, if he didn't,
that's another one you could put up there.
That's another name that you could throw in there for sure.
My sleeper this year is, to be honest with you, I think CJ Stroud and Jordan Love are going to be the top, with Patrick Mahomes, top 3 quarterbacks.
I'll say this for a hot take. I think Jordan Love is quickly becoming the most overrated quarterback in the league. He had half of a good he had a good half of one season, and people already say he's a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Stop, man.
I think we got to chill. I think we got to let him play a little bit.
Oh man, look at the team. Young wide receiver core. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of them wide receivers, okay, have ever seen Jerry Rice play. Okay, that's how young they are. Okay, so they're gonna grow together. You know what I mean? That's the difference between the Packers and a lot of these other teams. Is the Packers their wide receivers get to grow with Jordan Love. So I think that's going to be the experience to watch compared to a lot of the other teams.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe by the end of this year, sure, he's a top 5 quarterback. I'm just saying we're putting him in there a little.
Oh, I'm not putting him in there now. I'm saying at the end of this year,
yeah,
him, CJ, and Patrick would be your top 3 quarterbacks for the league.
Ooh, that's hot take there for sure. Okay, my last one for you, since we both have new wide receiver 1 or drafted wide receivers with the first pick. My hot take is Coleman is going to be the best rookie wide receiver in the league this year.
Oh, you really making me choose over a hometown boy over my Giants? Oh man.
Well, not even like I'm saying he's going to be better than Odunze. He's going to be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. He's
Odunze got a couple years till he becomes great. I'm going to be honest with you, because he got Allen in front of him and DJ Moore in front of him. So, but Marvin Harrison is by all means probably going to be the best, but you could take that out. But between Coleman and Neighbors, oh man, you're really making me do this, huh?
Wow. I think a lot of it has to do with quarterback play, as we've alluded to
of course,
many times.
But pure talent. Oh man, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this one. I think Coleman is definitely better than Neighbors for talent.
Yeah, I think that's.
I honestly think so.
Pardon?
I honestly think so. I honestly think Coleman is definitely better than Neighbors per talent.
I think he ran a slow 40 time, I guess, and that is freaking everybody out. But all the other drills that they time your speed at, which is a live play thing, he was one of the faster ones. So I think his speed is getting blown out of proportion. He's got great hands from what we've seen so far of him in the offseason. And he'll have the opportunity. That wide receiver 1 spot in Buffalo is wide open. We need a big body. He's going to be a huge red zone target. I think Josh Allen is just going to be looking for him, especially in the red zone. I know someone who took Neighbors over him.
Yeah, he's talking about me. This is my cousin. This is my cousin right here. I'm going to give you a little backstory about my cousin here. So we're in the Dynasty League, all my cousins and stuff. And I had the second overall pick. And I took Neighbors after Harrison with the second overall pick. So this is where this statement comes from right here. So, you know what I mean? I mean, Coleman definitely not worth the second round pick in a Dynasty League. I think Neighbors, you know, with the circumstances he has and being the only number one on the Giants, he's going to get, you know, a lot more touches this year. But I think overall, I mean, listen, Florida State is 2.5, maybe 2 hours away from my house. You know what I'm saying? I watch this kid live every Saturday play football. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell you Coleman's going to be a beast, Coleman's going to be a beast. I mean, I seen this kid make a one-handed catch mid-air 3 feet off the ground live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no denying his talent.
Yeah.
So all those, he's slow in the 40 and all that. I don't training camp and combine don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I literally watch this kid every Saturday play for my hometown team. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be talented. I promise you.
Okay, so I'll leave it to you. Do you have any hot takes? Anything you want my opinion on? Anything you got on your mind?
All right, so I go to Vegas in September. Right? The first thing I'm doing in Vegas, okay, I'm taking Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. First thing I'm doing.
You know what they say? Only bet the money that you're willing to lose, that you're comfortable losing.
Oh, of course.
Okay, because I would not expect to see a red cent of that back. Okay,
Of course.
Like you mean like between now or until the end of time, or you mean like this season?
So this season,
no.
I walk into Vegas one day before that Thursday the football season starts. I am walking to my casino that I'm staying at. I'm going downstairs and I'm putting money on the Green Bay Packers to win the 2024-2025 Super Bowl.
Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. That is a very hot take. I'm sure there's a large portion of people in are they in Wisconsin that would like that, but I don't see that happen. I think your money is better spent on the Buffalo Bills winning the 2024-2025 Super Bowl.
I don't know about that. Honestly, to be honest with you, I actually might I'm definitely doing the Green Bay bet. That's no questions asked. But honestly, if there's a prop to bet on KC winning back to back to back, I actually might take that too.
Yeah. I think that's the most realistic option, or where your money's best spent on.
That's an overcooked take. Oh man. Oh man.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. Do you got anything else?
No, not right now.
No?
You'll see some posts maybe, once the season starts getting closer.
Oh no. Look at this.
Oh, and that's another one.
Put some money on the Lions. What do you think?
Yeah, that's another one. So I was having this debate the other day with someone, and I think Dan Campbell, he's a great coach, and the Lions are very talented. But I think Dan Campbell is going to cost him with his coaching abilities a game like he did last year. Yeah. He switched his whole game plan around going into that NFC Championship game against the 49ers and got smoked. You know what I'm saying?
Overthought it.
Yep. That going for 2 against Dallas, my man had 3 opportunities. 3 opportunities and still went for 2 instead of taking the tie and going into overtime. And that would have determined whether they would have got the first seed or the second seed.
Yep.
And this man had 3 opportunities and didn't take the kick to go to overtime.
Yeah, horrible. Or as Steven says, that was terrible. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Had a blast. We'll definitely do it again. Like we said, you are at Hot Take City.
On X is hot. If you're gonna look up the The actual name is Hot Take City 904.
Hot Take City 904. So go give them a follow. Thank you guys for chiming in here. Thanks you, Steve. Thank you, Sports Talk. Like I said, my name's Ben. I'm on all social media at Mafia Members Pod. Go. I'll give my spiel of all the annoying things people say. Go like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, go give us a follow, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming.